How are you doing today? You're welcome to today's YouTube live. All right, you're welcome to today's live. I was trying to share the link. So if you're watching the recording, you can just move a little bit because we're going to wait for people to join. Today we are talking about the root causes of infidelity. The root causes of infidelity and how to prevent or stop them. The root causes of infidelity and how to prevent them. Infidelity is a major problem we have in a lot of marriages, and that's why we want to talk about that today. So if you're watching the replay, you might just need to move a little bit. We're going to start shortly. Waiting for my guest. My guest is a fantastic psychotherapist, well experienced, very intelligent, and I'm super excited to have him today. Yep. All right, if you're joining, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. So I want to share the link again. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome to today's live. Super excited to have you. Hey!
How far now?
I need to first report to you. You have abandoned me.
Ah, how will I do such a thing?
You don't abandon me.
How will I do such a
So hey people, you're welcome to today's live.
I
The Almighty Francis is here.
goodness, I beg you.
Almighty Francis is here. Yes, people, you're welcome. Yes, you're welcome to today's live. And I'm super excited about this conversation. It's a major problem in a lot of marriages. I'll mention his name on this live. I will tell him I mentioned his name. I was speaking to Papis. I don't know you know Papis. You know Papis?
I know him. I know him.
Papis, he runs one of the biggest restaurant chain in Abuja, and he has a branch in Lagos. And he's into nightlife. He runs a very big lounge and all of that, and he interacts with a lot of guys. And I was telling him that I am very sure that the men that are faithful are way more than the unfaithful men. And truly, 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 I believe that. Jesus. So truly, truly, I believe that we have more faithful men than unfaithful men. But Papi said is a lie. That he can categorically tell me that 85% of men cheat.
Hmm.
And I'm like, no. Like, and he's telling me he can prove it.
85% is a staggering number. Do you know what 5% is? 85%. Do you know what is
See,
5?
he was serious. So he said he's not even, and he's street. Like, this is a business where people are in his lounge for till, big stuff are happening where he's doing. So he said he's telling me, me, I'm a church boy. I don't know what is going on. I don't know what is going on the streets. Now he's telling me that 85% of men cheat, and I don't know. So what do you think? Because me, I don't know. I don't think that's true.
So, quite frankly, I think that's not true. As a matter of fact, there's more PR for failing relationships than there is for relationships that are working. I can tell you
Mm,
for that a lot of relationships are going on very well. A lot. Take for example, it's like, you know, and why I say that is that for many of the relationships that are going on well, they'll tell you, you hear things like, well, there's no need to really talk about it. I've heard it enough.
mm,
There's no need. We don't make noise about our relationship. Okay. Take for example, let's let's go to maybe a mall, for example, and then let's just spend maybe 2 hours just sitting down in the parking lot and watching people come and people go. And then you start to ask yourself, of all these people that come and gone now, how many of them are their relationships really, really bad? So there's
mm.
actually yeah for bad relationships. There's a recent one going around on social media now. I won't mention names. There's a lot you would hear. When last did you see a lot of things being said about relationships happening? So I don't think so. I don't think that there are more cheating men than there are faithful men. There's just been a lot of information around, you know, people that people that are in pain, and there's just that. I don't want to call it noise, but I don't agree. There are that are faithful, many men. There are many, many men. And I know the next question will say, "These men, where where on a keep them they. I have friends. I have people that I know, genuinely single, you know, good guys that are, that have even their hearts have even been broken, and they are still looking for that kind of warmth. But there are many good men. There are many good men. There are many good men. I don't agree. I don't agree. I don't
But
agree.
how do we prove that? It's true that the pain surrounding broken homes, cheating men, cheating women, the pain is loud, and the PR is actually loud because those that are hurting are speaking than those that are louder than those that are happy. Those that are hurting are louder than those that are happy. Those that are happy and contented are kind of like, what? There's no need to display what I'm enjoying. Recently I did a post and I said, tag your husband and appreciate him. And women are saying that they cannot tag their husband. Now, they'll say, thank you, my love, and everything, but they don't tag him. They will not tag.
Wahala
because because then they tagged him now. Some vultures
will
will
now
go
come.
after.
And, so,
So the
um,
women that are enjoying good husbands will not come out to talk because they don't want once. You start saying your husband is faithful now. He might become a prime target.
From a target. So, and steal him from you and all that.
Yeah.
So funny enough, in that regard, I think when it comes to relationships, there's an important work to be done for you to be secured in your partner.
Mm,
Um, there's an important work. I cannot even overemphasize it. And let me break it down in this way. If you if you cannot travel and be at peace that back home your partner is okay, then there's a lot of work that you need to do. Sometimes that work is not even on your partner, it could also be on yourself,
mm,
right? Because most times our fears become feeling prophecy where we can invent things when they're not even existing, you know. And one thing I keep telling people is when you start a relationship, transparency is very important. You see all this issue of passwording phones, hiding them. I don't see the need. Like cheating is stressful. Oh. Do you know? Like cheating is you have to have a certain level of organization to be able to cheat very well, and your partner will not find out. You have to be a pro, like you have to invest. That's why the infidelity industry is $1 million industry. You have to rent house outside somewhere, you have to buy property, you have to travel, like there's a whole lot of money being pumped in there. But if I come back to what I was talking about in terms of there's a lot of work that needs to be done, it is in building the foundation of your relationship, the foundation. So today we talk about infidelity, and one of the directions I want to point out, because one of the things I want to achieve from this session, is what exactly leads to infidelity. When infidelity has happened, how can you recover? Now, these are the two areas that, sort of is going to be the context of our conversation today. And I think that that's where my thought around when you say that, you cannot post your partner and not be afraid that a vulture will come. It means that you don't trust your partner enough. So if you don't trust your partner enough, why? Is it because your partner has proven to be untrustworthy in the past? Have they done something that has given you the impression that this person cannot be trusted around the opposite sex? Or is it that you have so listened to stories on these blogs so much that you see what is happening outside? And even when your partner is not showing any signs, you are already paranoid. These are the three possible scenarios. And in all of these scenarios, you can either work on yourself or work on the relationship, either ways. So that's why I think that, this whole idea of hiding your partner, I don't see the most funny part is you will post a picture of your partner and you will use emoji to cover their face. Don't show us. Keep the keep the picture. If we cannot see the person's face, why are you now? It now means that what you're trying to tell us is that you are okay and that you are not in a, you also have a beautiful relationship. You don't need to prove that to us. You don't need us to know that your relationship is fine. So if you don't want to, so if you cannot confidently beat your hand in your chest and post your partner, something is wrong in that relationship, either with you or with your partner. Either ways, you have to find out what it is. So that's my take on that particular conversation of having to hide partners. I don't. It's. I don't. For the life of me, I cannot understand. I can. Who would cheat? Would cheat if you like cover in face with black cloth. It's inconsequential. It doesn't change anything. You know.
I know you are two of us, church boys. So there's a reality going out there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Now, the reality is that there are girls and there are boys that are after married men and married women.
Oh yes.
Like it's not a it's there are people that sit down and strategize on how to get a married woman,
Mm-hmm.
how to get a married man,
Mm-hmm.
right? And sometimes the men are not necessarily focused on family. So you have a husband who is just maybe pursuing money, pursuing business, and is not even thinking about that at all. But there's a young girl that is targeting him,
Mm.
and the young girl is setting dangerous trap for this guy. Now he is not planning to cheat, but he's all focused on making money. But the girl is like seriously challenged, and
In a shade.
because he's not aware, he's not careful, he's not aware of the plan. He can fall.
Yep.
Now in Nigeria today, beyond the fact that people are even doing that, they dress anyhow, try to seduce. They are doing extra things to it. I've had the situation of a lady saying that went to meet one man, Baba, she wants to attract men. And Baba gave him a powder or a perfume. And that was it. As she sprayed the perfume, men were running after her. So there are a lot of those things, and it's real, though. It's real. This is happening. It's like you said, it's an industry.
Yes.
There are people that is their job. Their job is to catch married men and married women. That's their job. That's how they make money. That's their business. So, okay, well, let's do this conversation. Well, let's start with what are the root causes of infidelity. We'll come back to this matter because it's the problem a lot of guys are facing. Because you see a good man, very good guy. The wife is saying that in her mind, she never thought that her husband would ever cheat. Everybody around him nobody believes it. He himself is shocked, but he's now trapped such that he's not even able to stop. Now, this is not me giving excuses for that, but these
So,
are certain and common stories I have been hearing that
yeah.
is that what do you think? And we can just cover the root causes here.
So I think the first thing is, on average, people go into relationships because they are looking for a certain level of security. And I'm talking about in terms of, why would people go after married men and married women rather than single? This is a very simplistic answer, but there is logic, there is data to prove it. On average, the young girl believes that it will take a guy that is probably just, trying to figure out his life, on average, a significant level of time to be able to catch up. His ability to meet her needs, for example, is something else. Now, she believes, either by virtue of having some certain kind of friends or being influenced by certain things in the media, that a man who already has a family has a better understanding of welfare, being able to take care of, right, than a guy who's
Yeah,
just. And the married men too don't make it any easier. So they tell you, is it not that small boy? What can that small boy do for you? I will take care of you. I will give you. I will make you okay. And all that. And then that's the idea. Why we'll go and look for a married man? Because ask many of them. They'll tell you, married men take care of us much more than these guys. They may
yeah,
necessarily have a guy they like, but there are needs. There's a whole, there's an entire chain involved in it. But I will not go down that rabbit hole. The girls will not live here. But the primary motivation, oftentimes, is deeply rooted in the need to fulfill their needs. That's for a woman. For a guy, on the other hand, most of them believe that a married woman has the tendency to take care of you much more than a single girl will. She's able to, like, she can take care of you. She would, probably even give you the, in quote, respect that the Achalugo that will be at
Yeah.
your thoughts will probably not give you. And there's an entire whole thing around that. But that's just touching on the area of, how do they find themselves? There is an entire, you know, background and maybe trauma that is relating to all of these, but this is just surface answers. But if we come back to this guy, for example, and that's the reason why I love exploring during therapy or during counseling session, you will begin to realize that, and this is where I'm probably going to shake a little bit of table today.
Okay.
Permit me. Oftentimes, when we look at infidelity, the light is always shined on the person who offended.
Mm,
Who is done to ask the simple but most important question: where did it all begin?
mm, yeah.
Where- for example, for this guy now that you gave an example of, right? I'm sure when the wife probably found out, the first question she would ask is, when did you meet her? When did you people have your first kiss? Was it in a hotel? Where did you see? All those questions are questions that are genuine, no doubt, but they are born out of pain that does not solve the real issue, which is at what point, at what point did we begin to drift? Because from the picture you've painted, they had a good life, they were okay, and I'm talking about infidelity from that perspective. They were okay, they were fine, but then all of a sudden something started to set in. Now, let me give you an example. So, you see, if you don't have a good conflict resolution strategy in your relationship, if you don't have a good relationship, what people would refer to as, have friendship in your relationship, you are most likely prone to infidelity in that relationship.
Mm, mm,
If you don't have, I'll repeat it again, if you don't have a good conflict resolution strategy, if
yeah.
you a good relationship, you are prone to infidelity. Let me tell you why I say so. How many married people can truly laugh at each other when they have bad sex?
Mm,
You don't have great sex and you laugh about it and you talk about it. How many married people can really do that?
mm,
How many married people are willing to not withhold love regardless of how they feel?
mm,
How many married people are willing to stay accountable to their partners? And by accountability, I mean you're going out and you tell your partner where you're going to. Accountability means that your partner raises something that is an issue for them, and you are truly present to listen, to hear, not shove it away. Accountability means that in terms of finances in the relationship, there's transparency. So, you see, all of these things are boxed into the kind of relationship dynamics that you have in your marriage. Now, when people begin to step out of their marriage, it is because there is something that they need that their marriage is not providing.
mm,
There is something that they need that their marriage is not providing. This may sound very harsh, but I want anybody listening to me to be patiently follow my thoughts, because
mm,
what is really going through your mind is that, am I the problem? You may not necessarily be the problem. I'm not defending infidelity. I'm not saying that the offending partner is right. I am just saying that there is a need that that person is seeking. And that's the reason why they stepped out. And oftentimes, this should have been a problem that could have been solved right from. That's why I've been shouting these things since. Add premarital counseling to your wedding budget. Add premarital counseling to your wedding.
Yeah.
But if they
I
don't
know
add,
you. Yeah.
they will come back for counseling with you. They will come and pay, and you that thing you were running away from, you will come back and do it now.
Yeah.
Because at that point of before getting married, there were a number of things that you saw and you excused away that is now a problem. If I come back to the question of infidelity now, you started with someone whose appetite is not, somebody who cannot necessarily control their appetite, and you are hoping that in marriage it, no, it's not going to change. So that novelty, that and there's this popular statement, I'm not the only one soup you go to chop now. This person is telling you that before you guys get married, and you just excuse it away. Now they are married. They don't test one soup. They want to test another soup. That soup is the need. That's what they are looking for. So
Mm-hmm.
if I come back to where does this particular infidelity start from? And within the context of relationships where, okay, you've done the work. Now, because why I needed to set that right is there are so many problems that has to do with infidelity that started pre-marriage. And that one is a completely different conversation entirely. What I'm focusing now is relationships where they have done the work, you know, they've been able to understand themselves and all of that. And then they go into marriage and then this surprise springs up. This person cheats. Where did it all start from? It is from microaggressions. It is from when you sweep issues under the carpet. And all of a sudden, you begin to grow apart. And then that office bestie and office husband and office wife, all of a sudden, is an available emotional support and anchor. If you're somebody listening to me now and there's somebody who always will come and talk to you about their marital problems and you are beginning to feel some level of connection between the both of you, it's time for you to redirect that conversation because it's going somewhere. Yeah. Why? Because that person is drifting from their marriage. Because the person who should be an anchor is probably distracted by their career or is probably not making enough time to invest into the relationship and all of that, and then this person begins to drift. I'll tell you an important story. So when I was dating my wife before we got married, right, we were in different cities, and one day, we were just chatting, and then I just realized that there was just this guy's name that just kept coming up. By some, interesting way, the guy knew, because she was writing an exam at that time. The guy knew all her exam days, knew her exam periods, and me, that was the guy I did not know. I said, something is wrong. And I traveled all the way down to that particular place. And I told her, this guy likes you. She was like, no, that we are just cool, we are just friends. I said, no, it's not true. This guy likes you, and I'm not going to let this guy take my place. I reclaimed my position. What I then realized was that at that time I was not investing enough time to pay attention to the relationship. And the only thing that saved me, as a matter of fact, one day she just casually said it, was, dear, they don't carry your babe go where you no know. I said,
Mm.
why were we able, why was I even able to know? Was because we already had a working relationship where we talk all the time. I don't know why I think one of the most underrated things that married people take for granted is the ability for them to talk about everything and anything. You come back from work, both of you are in the kitchen, or she's in the kitchen, or you are in the. There's a one of the things. Let me again. One of the things that has even helped me. I've been married now 5 years. One of the things that have helped me is we have what we call our bonding time, and that bonding time oftentimes some weeks are back to back. Work is pulling us. We don't even have time to, but we make up our mind to bathe together at least once every day. If it's not in the morning, it will be in the evening. And what
Okay.
we do, moments where we are in that bathroom together, we are talking. That's how I feel her into what's happening in my life. And that's how she feels me into what's happening in her life. I get an update. I know what's happening. So if you don't have a working strategy, what will happen is that when those microaggressions start to come in, this is my partner. Okay, I told you about something you forgot. You took money from the account, no explanation. Your family members come, they do what they like, you excuse them. Before you know what's happening, this person begins to feel distant from the partner. And then, because man by nature, you would always want to find solace somewhere. You start to talk to somebody. Now, all that person is doing at first is being a listening ear, providing you support. Oh, sorry. Well, it's not a bad person. Before you know what's happening, you guys start to go out. There's an old saying that says when the desired becomes unavailable, the available becomes the desired. It is true. I used to say something that anything you don't want to eat, don't taste it. Because that tasting, you see that talk, that conversation, it starts from that point. So the real question is those unresolved conflicts, those conversations that are not had, slowly but surely they begin to build up. They begin to build up. They begin to build up. Before you know what's happening, somebody somewhere now comes up and is telling you things that, oh, your partner is, you've not heard from your partner for a while. Before you know what's happening, you say, well, my partner is busy, it's not that bad. Oh, I'm just having a good time with this person. And before you know what's happening, lips will lock, pants down, action done, regret sets in. So it's looking at those things, making sure that every single time there is any form of conflict, right? No matter how minute it is, you may not even deal with it in the moment, but make a mental note to ensure that that is dealt with. Ensure that nothing contaminates the relationship that you have. Make sure that you have an airtight conflict resolution strategy. These things are the tools that help you prevent infidelity. Take, for example, I talked about something earlier. There are a lot of sexless marriages. There are a lot of marriages where people don't, and sex is one of the big, in fact, this sex matter, if we open it up today, is a completely different ballgame. But, you know, if if you are not satisfied sexually, and you talk to your partner about it, if the sex is bad, can you discuss it with your partner? If you have never had orgasm before and you would like to orgasm, have you discussed? You guys talk. And that's the reason why a relationship is super super important. That's why there's always the mantra you hear: marry your friend, marry your friend, marry your. The whole idea is that in the context of that friendship relationship, you can talk about anything. It opens the door for communication. It helps you wire your conflict resolution strategy. Because if you don't, you will drift. And when you drift, there is that one person standing outside waiting to supply you that thing. And before you know what's happening, you are far gone.
You're gone.
And many men fall into this category. I kid you not. And I'm not downplaying, women, but there are a lot of men that have cheated in their relationship that cheating was never in their playbook. One thing I'm going to say today is women, stop weaponizing sex.
Mm.
Stop it. I understand that a man must work his way to earn the entrance. Cannot just wake up and come. Teach them. Teach them what to do. Don't weaponize. And here's the difference. What does teach them mean? If your husband comes at you just randomly in the day and you don't feel like it, right? Instead of telling them that, oh, I'm not going to give you this thing, I'm not going to give it to you because I know that you need it. Teach them that, look, you cannot just come and just want me. At least in the beginning of the day, do some romantic things. Do some, do some. Then it waters the ground. So in the evening, now me self go be I'm the one that will be chasing after you, right? Teach them. Don't weaponize it. Men, on the other hand, you see, self-control is a choice.
Mm.
But then let me stop there so that we don't dovetail. Self-control is a you that one of the biggest lies that I've been told ever is the, for lack of a better word, nonsense excuse that a man is by nature promiscuous. It is a lie from the pit of hell. It is a lie. A man by nature is not promiscuous. Promiscuity is a learned behavior. So, a man, you have to, you know, you have to understand the gravity of your actions, especially on your family, on yourself, and it's a completely whole. And the reason why I stated that for women was oftentimes when we talk about infidelity, the most popular conversations is around, oh, the man cheated, the man cheated, the man cheated on the woman, the man cheated on the woman, right?
Yeah.
But it is sometimes the reason why the man cheated was not because he's a bad person. Some things happen. But in cases where the man is a complete philanderer, my dear, bring him. Let us reset his head. But yes, that's where, going back to your question around where does it all begin?
Yeah.
That's when conflicts go unresolved. An existing relationship that does not allow for the two people to be updated in what's happening in their lives. And before you know what's happening, people start to drift.
Yeah.
And then find comfort, succor in another person. And then something happens. And this happens for men, it happens for women. And the
Yeah.
funny part is that, men think they are smart. More, women can be cheating under that same roof with you. They are submissive. You will never know. Oh, you will never know.
True.
You will never know. So, yeah.
So
Um,
you're saying some very important things, right? I think it's Pastor Shola saying that infidelity is meeting a legitimate need in an illegitimate way,
Yes.
right? And now you're talking about the fact that people step out of their marriages when their needs are not met, right? And trying to meet that need, they now get into the trap of cheating and having extramarital affairs. And why we are having this conversation is to raise that awareness because, like what you said people don't understand the gravity of cheating, the impact it has on the family, the impact it has on the marriage, the impact it has on your spouse, the impact it has on your children, right? And there's a pandemic of broken homes that we are having right now in society. And the more broken homes we have, the more broken society will be, right? And most people get depressed.
I'm struggling to hear you. I don't know if it's from my end, but I can barely hear.
Maybe it's my let me disconnect. Can you hear me? Is
Yes,
it
I can.
better now?
Yes,
Okay, that means this my stuff isn't working well.
I think it's
All right,
better.
so okay, so I was saying that you said that men need to understand the gravity of cheating, the gravity of infidelity, and I said that's very very important because I think that most men don't understand the impact of it. Most men, in my opinion, still see cheating the way they see it when they were in secondary school, when they were in university. Because when we look at the roots, we need to also look at when it started before even the marriage. So young boys, when you were in secondary school, we did competition of I fit toast this girl. We had bets. I go enter this girl.
The most
I
nonsense.
go chop am. Even on campus, we brag. There's no girl that cannot. So for most men, sleeping with women is a game, right? For some is a game, for some is an avenue to show their power. I want to see whether I still got it. I want to see whether I still have my flow, my skill. For some people, they do it because they have a need to feel like a champion. Men are wired to compete, wired to win, to conquer something. So that same thing that you started when you were in secondary school and university, you are now married. You don't realize that it's now a different ball game. And the thing you were doing when you were younger, you can't keep doing it now. You will see old men in their 50s that are bragging, now me go get this girl, this celebrity, now me go get them. Billionaires, millionaires. And they compete. My side chick fine pass your own. You know, so
Unbelievable things.
so you see a man that when he was single, he used to sleep around. And his belief was when he gets married, he's going to stop, only for him to marry and realizes that the wife cannot meet his different appetite, right? Yeah, I've spoken to clients that you see a client that had an encounter when he was in university where the girl was really, really wild. He had sex with someone that was very wild. These girls are mad, they are wild. And your wife cannot match up that energy. And that appetite, because you've tested it, is still there. And because that appetite is not met, you now start thinking of finding it. And so there are a lot of reasons why you see some men do these things. There are people who the reason why they do it is not even they don't like it, but while growing up, they saw their father. Imagine a guy that actually caught his father sleeping with that woman. That messes up with his mind.
Absolutely.
It's like finishing. So ah, so a lot of these root causes, and that's why people need to be aware that okay, first, this thing is bad. It can break your marriage, it can break your wife, it can even break your children, it can also break you, right? I've seen men that this man has worked all his life, worked in a very good organization, has built wealth, went for a work trip in outside the city he resides, was in the hotel and met one babe in the lift, and the girl seduced him and bam. From there, the girl started manipulating him, you know, threatening him. Oh, I have your nude. I'm going to visit to your wife. And before the girl asked him for outrageous money. And over time, this man is completely financially drained. So, a lot of these things, and that's why guys need to be careful, and even women need to be careful. Right now, there are a lot of guys, let's say some gym boys, their plan is to seduce married women. There are
Absolutely.
married men that their plan is they have the fantasy to sleep with other married men.
Absolutely.
Women, sorry. My wife was pregnant. My wife goes for work in my estate, and countless times, men they toast am. Pregnant woman. They are men that have that fantasy. Oh. Yeah, go ahead.
I was like, did they not see that you are say,
Oh, they would your wife too.
yeah. Hey, the way she was saying this, I was shocked. I was like, wait, did they not see that? He said, yes. So that even one was telling her that, that as that it, apparently, you know, pregnant women are more appealing to certain, you see. Yes. Ah, God. You continue. Let me not cut your case. But
So, so that reason and that cause, I think that one of the things that make a lot of men cheat, even women. For some people, it's porn, right? Exposure to porn, right? For some people, exposure to bad environments. So recently, not recently, one of the things that I've been told to do, go out, go and meet people, network. And the best way to network with Abuja big men is to go to lounges, is to go to where they hang out at night. So I tried that one day. I went to one of these top hotels and I was very careful. I went to the pastor friend and I went to this place. Very nice lounge. First, the atmosphere, you see girls that wore very skimpy dress. They were the ones singing. And they are going to come to you to sing for you and twerk for you. And you see all these men that are wealthy, they're enjoying it. There are a lot of girls. The girls that are coming to serve you are not well dressed. Sweet music. The atmosphere is so romantic and so lustful, so sexy. There's no how you are going to be in that environment. And you're not with your spouse, you're not going to be thinking rubbish.
my brother,
So there are places you will go to, there are environments you will put yourself that over time you are going to be lured. Another thing is the kind of association you keep. The people you move with matter.
hmm,
All your friends have sidekicks. It's just a matter of time. You
you will
might.
the next person. It's it's a matter of
So
time.
yeah, yeah. So can you talk more to the other different external factors and how people can actually avoid them? Yeah.
You see, the you raised one important point. Is one of the lies as well is that once you get married, don't discuss your marriage with anybody. You don't let thoughts come into your mind. It's a good advice, but it can be harmless when not refined. What I'm saying is have a community of people. You see, systems, systems. And I, in my first conversation, I talked about what causes this infidelity for people who have probably done the work, right? And then something suddenly happens. That's conflict. They are drifting apart. Now, some other people, it has nothing, there was no conflict. It is just a lack of system.
Mm.
See, let me give you an example. You know yourself. Nobody knows you more than you know yourself. One of the things that, and I was thinking about it this evening before our session, and when for people who have struggled with addictions to pornography, for example, and they tell me that, oh, I prayed, and God took it away. I believe them, but I feel like they're not telling the whole story
Mm.
because I think that, not think as a matter of fact, I've done work on this thing, and I know for a fact that addiction is giving up, not taking it.
Mm.
What brings you to a point where you give it up? Because in the first place, He didn't give it to you. So if you
Yeah.
are to take it away, you are taking away the responsibility from the work that you have to do. And that brings me back to the conversation I'm having. You must be accountable to your partner or to a circle.
Mm.
Traveling on a work trip, or you are going outside of town, one simple system of accountability is to inform your partner every single place where you are in.
Yeah.
They don't need it. And this is, if we come to the conversation of infidelity, recovering from infidelity, because I've had the privilege to counsel people through this. And one of the things that I tell the person who has offended is that your job from this point is to rebuild trust. No matter how long it takes for your partner to trust you again, you have to do the work of being trustworthy because trust has been broken. And what that means is that you must volunteer information even when you're not asked.
Yeah.
Oh, honey, I'm going out with my friends, oh, and we are going to a lounge. Your partner will ask you, lounge. Those lounge, which lounge are you going to? Those lounge where all those girls. Honey, I'm going to the gym. Which gym? Ah, that gym where all those boys with big, big chests are you sure you want to go? See, the beauty of accounting, and I don't think that it is a wise decision, and everybody's free to disagree, but I don't think it's a wise decision to be in a relationship with your partner and they cannot they cannot pick your phone. They pick your phone, you are running helter skelter from the bathroom as though you are going to fall down. What are you hiding? What is inside that phone that you're hiding?
Mm.
Accountability and systems. Take for example now, you were going to that lounge. What did you do? You went with somebody.
Yeah.
It's accountability. So if you feel, it's like somebody saying, I want to quit watching porn. And every Netflix movie you turn on is rated 18 and they are having sex. My dear, you have not, you must put in boundaries. You must put in, you see, and I'm speaking specifically to men. You don't care. You see, the your genitalia, he sometimes can have a mind of his own.
Yeah.
You are the one to do the work because now all that you have worked for is now going down the drain because someone is blackmailing you. Systems, systems, systems. You see, I, you said something around access to porn, and the most, you know, with the pace of the internet today, we are barricaded left, right, and center. You open Instagram, explore, you open everywhere, you are seeing all manner of things. It
Yeah.
is a deliberate design to come for your mind. And as it continues to plant those thoughts, what will happen is you will want to find ways to fulfill those desires. The one question that we want to ask today is, if you start having some funny feelings for somebody in the office, can you tell your wife about it? If you
Mm.
not, then you guys need to do more work. Because this accountability, you see, marriage is not just for both of you to come and procreate and have sex all the time. There's a you are help meet. And I don't think a lot of people understand what that means. You are help meet. There are many times my wife has told me, be careful of this person.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, there's nothing there now. And at the end of the day, something in there. There are times I've told my wife, this person, the way I'm saying. And you know the funny part is, men have the ability to see through other men where women cannot,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
women have the ability to see through other women where men cannot see.
We
So
cannot see. True.
why that accountability and help comes in. So you need your wife and your husband to help you. That's why there cannot be any sacred cow. If there's anybody in your life that you cannot talk to your partner about, something is brooding there. Now, it could be for two reasons. It could be that either your wife is in the habit of making up ideas where there is none. In such situation, have a conversation with her. You can refer her to a therapist or to a coach to help her work on her mind because it will benefit you. Because what's happening is that the conversations you're supposed to be having with her, where she's supposed to be holding you accountable, you cannot have it with her because you are not sure whether she's able to handle the information. So go ahead and get help. Or you have your friends, your male friends, for example, speak to them. And that's why you need to have correct people around you. What kind
Yeah.
of friends do you have? You know, you said something that all your friends have side chick. It's a matter of time, my brother. You will have side chick.
Right. Yeah.
There was one video. I think I did a video about it on my Instagram post handle a couple of months back. It was a heartbreaking video I watched, and it was this guy. When he entered into 100 level, his friends were smoking weed, and he was like, I will never ever smoke. What he won't give me that he will till he leaves this school, he will never ever 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 smoke. Transition. The next slide. I think maybe in 200 level or by like 300 level, the guy was puffing. Your decision is not better than your environment.
Yeah.
Your decision is not stronger than the environment. Your decision is as strong as the environment that it operates in. Else, it will fall down to the systems that is available.
Yeah.
That is the reason why, if you want to make certain things of your life, even after you have decided, you have to move from a particular environment, from a particular circle, unapologetically, because by design you will be influenced. Only a matter of time you will start to make excuses for those behaviors. So,
Mm.
accountability systems, and those systems come in ensuring that we develop. And another I think that is very important for both men and women. You know, many men will say, "Oh, I cannot have an intellectual conversation with my wife. I cannot discuss things with my wife." But there's this other woman in the office. You know, she's at my frequency. You lie, my brother. You lie. You lie. Your job is to groom that woman as you grow. Pull her along. Because if you don't, you are setting yourself up for this kind of mess that we're talking about now. Because anybody, everybody can learn. Like, and I say this all the time. I see couples who exchange books. Oh, you like it's possible, bro. You are just trying to excuse the fact that you have not invested enough time into pruning the garden that is your marriage.
Mm.
And you know the interesting thing is, many men want powerful women, but not a lot of men can handle powerful women.
Yeah, true.
You know why I say so? At a certain level, when a woman is functioning at full capacity, she can challenge you. She can look you into your eyes and call your bluff. And most men, their ego cannot stand that. But that is the check that they need. I've seen many men, older men, that have done well for themselves. And when I go back and check, you always see them. It's almost like they are woman rapper. And other men who are in quote masculine will be laughing. But 10 years down the line, those men who felt like they did not have, women are, subpar to them and all have broken relationships, children all over the place. But that man that you always see him asking his wife's opinion, caring, you will see that 10, 20 years down the line, they have a stable family, their children are growing, established families, and they are stable. System of stability in. So if you tell your partner, and I said it before, if there is something in your life as a man that you cannot talk to your partner about, some it is either you are building feelings and it is very dangerous, or it is that your partner has the habit of being able to make a mountain out of a molehill. If the last thing I said is the case, send them to Dennis. Dennis will coach them. They will start to understand how their action is endangering the relationship. Because for every time that your husband tells you that, there's just this lady in the office and all, and you're like, eh? Are you sure you're not liking her? Are you always looking at her bum? And his mind has not even gone there. Like, he has not even thought about it. But you have planted the seed. And before you know what's happening, man, like, come on, this man just distress me. Waiting be all this. And then there's this other person who you are never stressed around. Every one of us want peace of mind, both male and female. Oh. So send them to Dennis. Dennis will coach them so that they will understand the impact of their action on the relationship because you are pushing the person away. If it is the case of the fact that you can talk to your wife about it, your wife is not in the habit of making a mountain out of a molehill, then check yourself. You are brooding something. That is where systems and accountability. You see, in your life as a man, you must have friends that you can speak to at any single point in your life, where you can call up a guy, oh man, I don't know what's happening. And there's just this girl now, I don't know, this person is distracting me. And that person will tell you, guy, I they come or come and meet me now, 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 now. And they will help you reset your brain. So it is about systems, Dennis. It is really about systems. It's about putting systems in place. Those systems should exist at home and outside home. At home is in your spouse. If you are beginning to find that your mind is beginning to go kunkere, right? You should be able to talk to your partner about it. If you cannot talk to your partner about it, also there is the possibility that you also don't want to put that burden on them. Then have friends. Then, if you know too that your friends are not people that are good, then it's time for you to change that friendship circle because very soon you will fall. And if you're a spiritual person, pray. You see,
Yeah.
and when I talk about prayer, many people perform during prayer. Many people perform as if God does not know them. But prayer can be when you come to God and say, God, Omo, I don't know what is happening, no, but I'm beginning to see some type of way for this girl. Oh. No, please help me. I recommit myself with my mind. It's not those one that you come before me. So it is, and these three things I've talked about are systems. And that's why guard your heart with all diligence. This is the way you guard it. If you are going on trip, tell your wife. If you are going out with somebody that you feel like, oh, maybe there's for just talk to. See, you see, I said something when I started. There is a tool in marriage and relationships that people overlook or play. That tool is talk about anything and everything. This is the way you create it. So it's systems. It's
Yeah.
systems. 'Cause
Yeah.
the world will not change for you. Skimpy skirts will still exist. Chest will be at the gym. But when you have these systems in place, you stand a better chance to escape.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. My people, hope you've learned a lot. Now, this video, this live is going to be uploaded on YouTube. Um, we had my some of my staff had a crisis today, so they're not able to mobilize a lot of people for this live. But it will be uploaded so people can come back to watch the recording. So, but I think we should do a part two of this because we need to. I think we need to talk more about these systems you're talking about and give people practical steps. And also, we also need to address the offended,
Yes.
the person that has been cheated on, because sometimes when people get cheated on like that, they completely lose it.
Yes. Absolutely.
Some spouses, like you said, some spouses overreact and it just escalates the situation. The situation is already a mess. You just make it it's not make it more than a mess, right? You have cases of people that go to report their spouses to the children and
Hmm.
include the children into the whole chaos, then reports it just people blow things out of proportion and the marriage becomes damaged beyond repair. And even if the marriage, we try to rebuild the marriage or repair the marriage, the people in the marriage are damaged beyond repair. So we'll talk about that. We need to also address the cheated on, the offended, and how the offended can undo that kind of situation. Because the reality is that there are a lot of people that have cheating partners.
Absolutely.
It's as I started practicing as a counselor, I realized that there are people.
Hmm.
Ah,
So,
hey, my
no,
God,
and it's so bad that many have normalized it.
true.
That this is a normal thing that happens in marriage. So you have now moved from being an offended to a volunteer. So
Hmm,
I hear things like, well, you can do anything you want to do, but don't bring it home.
hmm,
That bad. And I think it's really very important for us to address the offended because, and as we wrap up, for example, what I would say is infidelity is huge. When it breaks trust at the very foundation, especially if for you as an individual, sex is not something casual.
hmm,
When you go into a relationship, it's something that bonds and binds you together. For some people, well, it's not. It's something that is sacred and important to them, and they don't just want to share their body. Infidelity is tough. There is nothing. I don't want to, trivialize it, but it can you a relationship can bounce back if the both parties are willing to do the work that is required. Oftentimes people say, "Oh, if there is a deal breaker, I want to cheat, I cannot." And the reason why we have to go back to the first question: where did it all begin? That will determine how recovery will work. The person who has offended has a lot of work to do. Oh, yes, because you are rebuilding trust. The person who has been offended, right? The offender has a lot of work to do, the offended has also work to do, which is you have to allow yourself again. Because at the point of infidelity, you will close up. And there is a possibility that this person that has offended will be doing everything right, but cannot get through to you. How do you open up? What do you do? What is, are you, you are not expected. And I think I just want to drop these things before we have that next session. You need to be given the time to process, because the person who has offended you, you say, but I've been doing everything now. Forgive me. For no, you're not the one to tell the person
Yeah.
how it will take them to process. You have offended. Stay consistent and give them time to process. The person who has been cheated on, the question you want to ask yourself is, this person that has cheated on me, why did this person cheat? Is it that this person is fundamentally promiscuous? It wasn't about that there is anything about foundation of the link of our relationship cheating. If that is the case, then you are faced with a choice. Do you want to stay in that? Will this person show commitment to change or failure? I want to accept that and say, well, all women do that, all men do that. That's different. But if there is even a tiny fraction of responsibility that you as the offender take, where you have seen that you did something to put this person to a point where they had to step outside, then you must be humble enough to admit the role that you have played and to also work towards recovery. So that's where I would cap it in terms of what the offender and the offender has to when it comes to the journey of recovery. And that's where, you know, by the time we do a part two, we will narrow down on how step by step by step by step, because it's an entire journey of building trust. It's an entire journey
Yeah.
of you don't your relationship never becomes the same.
Mm. Mm.
We're talking about how do you handle pain. One way you have said that is not the way to go is to drag children into it because you are trauma dumping. There's a
Mm.
no. Let's not.
It's a lot. It's a lot. So, my people, please, I want you to follow Francis. Francis is a psychotherapist that I will recommend any day, anytime. He's a versatile guy, now wisdom man. So please, if you need counseling, you need therapy, you need relationship coaching, marriage counseling, please reach out to Francis and please follow him now. Francis, please, your YouTube channel, we want to come and give us more hot videos. All right, so please go and subscribe to Francis channel now. Francis, how can people reach out to you for counseling, coaching, and therapy?
All right. Thank you very much. And this has been. I mean, I've known. It's funny enough. Dennis, I was speaking to somebody that knows both of us mutually. I was you know Dennis. I say, Dennis is us. Like really has happened. We go way, 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 way back. So
Way back, man.
Dennis is a great guy.
So,
Dennis,
so
you
funnily, as we were talking, I remember that, when I was dating somebody, I was cheated on, and you and I had that conversation. Remember?
I remember the exact place we were. Where
Ah,
it was in Surulere, Lagos, and
yes, sir. So
you know,
when Francis was saying you should have friends that you cycle back to, it's something that we actually have practiced, right?
yes,
And
absolutely.
yeah, it's something we have practiced.
Every time
Um,
every time I see your content, and by the way, every time I see your content, it gives me a lot of joy. It takes me. I just go back to that day and I'm like, yes, there are,
Mm.
like, your marriage with your wife gives me a lot of joy. Whenever I see it, I'm like, "Nah, that is because I'm really, 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 really grateful for the opportunity to share this platform with you. My handle is Francis Arihilam on YouTube, Instagram, basically.
Yeah.
And on Facebook. And if you would like to have a session, just drop me a DM on any of these channels, and someone will reach out to you, and we can obviously start something. But thank you so much, Dennis, for
Yeah, thank you so much. So we're going to do this again. I will
availability.
chat you up on your availability. So we'll do this again because we need to talk a lot on this matter. This matter is a serious matter. I probably even have one or two persons I want to send to you to help me handle. It's a very, very serious matter. It's a serious matter. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. Please, if you have any question, you can drop it in the comment section. We'll be available to ask the question. This video will be we'll put it on the channel, and we are going to please follow Francis. Francis drops a lot of powerful content. I mean, powerful content on Instagram. Francis, those videos you show them on Facebook. Are they on
Sorry?
Facebook too? Your
Yeah,
videos are they on Facebook too? Okay,
Facebook, yeah.
so Facebook, I know his videos are on TikTok also. So please follow him and get all the premium content. All right. So we are going to do this again. Please, we'll keep you posted. Um, Today we're not able to pull a lot of people to this live, but we'll do that next time. All right. Until then, have a fantastic night, a fantastic weekend. Thank you so much, Francis. Thank you
Thank
so much. I appreciate you. And next time my greetings to your wife. When I come to Lagos, I'm coming to visit. I'm
you.
coming to visit, and I'm coming with gifts to see my your child, that your new child.
Thank you
Francis,
so
you are doing triplet nest, oh, triplet nest. Amen.
much. Amen.
Amen.
God's ear. Thank you.
All right,
Amen.
thank you so much.
I love to your wife.
Bye.